Righto, let's get into the minor chords. Okay, we learnt the major chords. We learnt A major, B major, C major, D major, E major, F major. That's all you need to know. If you come across any sharps or flats, you play them as bar chords. Right? That's why bar chords are important, because you can't play an open G sharp, for example. So you play it as a G sharp as a bar chord. That's why you need to know your bar chords, because it lets you play the tricky ones in between, like your F sharps, G sharps, A sharps. Okay? And that's why you need to know the names of your notes on your top two strings, so you know where you can bang them down. That's why you need to know bar chords, so you know where to put them when you see these tricky chord names. So it all ties in together. That's why you need to know about keys, because you need to know, let's say you rock up to a jam, someone said, oh yeah, we've got a new singer today and he sings best in, like an A flat. And you go, oh, I see, we'll just have a quick jam, 1-4-5 in A flat. And you go, oh, A flat, so there's an A there, so flat is there, the same note as G sharp, right? So 1-4-5 in A flat. And straight away you know where to go and you know what to play, by knowing this bit of theory and knowing your chords and that. Enough about that. Let's do the minors. A minor. This is a good one. Oh, better tell you something first. Theoretically, the difference between a major and a minor is a major lowered by a third. Now, if that doesn't confuse you, nothing will. A major sounds happy, minor sounds sad. That's it. Listen, major. I have trouble playing it like that, because I normally hit it like that, but I just want to do this just to show that I can. That's A major, now listen to A minor. Sounds sad, doesn't it? Happy, right? Sad. Major happy, minor sad. There you go, there's another piece of information to stick in your memory. Now minor, right? So there's your major, or like that. So the minor, those two are the same. It's like an E shape, right? It's like the E major you learn. You just drop it down and start it there, and it becomes an A minor, but you don't play that fat E string, okay? That's your A minor. Now if you're having trouble holding these chords, there's one thing you need to know, and that's how to set your hands right. There's two positions, right? It's called the baseball grip. See how my thumb rolls across the top? I've got hold of it. Got good hold of it there. That's like the baseball grip. When you're starting, this is good when you're standing up, right? Because you can control it and, do your rock star moves and all that sort of thing, and jump around and do all that sort of garbage. But when you're sitting down and learning to play it first, you want to adopt a more classical position, right? And that's with the thumb in the centre of the neck, at the back there, lines up with pretty much that second finger, and it's like a clamping motion. You're clamping it on, like a G clamp that you use in woodwork and that, right? Now the wrist needs to drop down. That's where most people go wrong. Okay, wrist drop down, and the elbow actually tucks in a bit to the body. And that wrist, don't have it like that, or you'll have all sorts of trouble. Drop it down, okay? See that? Drop it down. That gives you more reach around the front by dropping it down, because you can't really do it too much, but if you drop it down, it gives you more reach, and that is the correct way to hold a guitar. Now, if you go to a classic teacher, they'll love you for that, right? But when you stand up, generally everything changes, and you start to adopt these other habits. Good or bad, I don't know, I don't care. Jimi Hendrix uses like this, so, who's to say what's right or wrong? But if you're having trouble, think about your wrist, cock it down, thumb in the centre of the neck, line it up with that second finger there, that finger there, that one that says, hello, how you going? Line it up with that one. And make sure that wrist comes down, okay? And the elbow sort of tucks in a bit. That is a position where you can play so that your hands don't ache. Now your hands are going to ache regardless when you first start playing, right? Because it's a new thing and you've got to build up your muscle memory, okay? Building up that muscle memory. Your hands will ache at the start. There's no good, running into problems later on if you haven't got that correct wrist position. You're going to form hard pads on the end of your fingers. So when you're playing, people write to me and they say, oh, my fingers hurt, and is there anything I can do? What am I doing wrong? You're not doing nothing wrong. They've just got to toughen up over time, right? So some superstar guitar players say, oh, you've got to be careful of your hands, you know. If you're that careful of your hands, you walk around with them oven mitts on all day. You know, don't worry about it. Just go about the normal thing. You know, I was on building sites, hands getting tough. I reckon you're better off using your hands, you know, putting up stuff and doing fencing and all, you know, anything, manual labour. You're actually strengthening your hands by using them, and it makes it better as a guitar player. No good worrying about what you're doing just because of your guitar playing. That's a bit of a toss, if you ask me. But anyway, make sure that wrist position's down, right? Dropping that wrist. Anyway, let's get back in these minors. So now you know, when I'm playing it, don't worry so much about where my thumb is or whatever, because I'm standing up, I'm using the baseball grip. You should be using that classical grip more, okay? Where that wrist drops down. Gives you more reach around the front here, okay? So an A minor, right? That's your A minor. Okay, B minor. Remember that F? It's the same shaped chord, but you're starting it on that B note there. Second fret off the 5th string. And it comes from that A minor, right? So there's your A minor. If you were to play it like that, without that one, then you're whacking down. That's your B minor. C minor, just move it up one. D minor is a bit tricky too, it looks like that. D minor. E minor is your E shape, but then you lift that finger off. We can play it with those two. F minor is your F major. Lift that one off. F minor, G minor, just slide it up to the G. That's it. The main minors you're going to come across when you're playing acoustic songs is your A minor and your E minor. So go and learn them first. Then maybe your D minor. Don't see it a lot, but it's a handy one to know. So the main chords you're going to come across when you're playing open chords, right? You're going to come across a G all the time, a C all the time, and a D all the time. They're the 1, 4, 5 in the key of G. You're going to come across an A, you're going to come across a D, you're going to come across an E. They're your 1, 4, 5s in the key of A. So immediately, most of your acoustic songs is going to be written in G, A, and you're going to come across a C, a lot, a D, a C, an F, yeah, and a G. So you've got to really nail that bar chord, because they're songs written in the key of C. And a lot of songs that were initially written for piano, and now people playing on guitar, got to have that F in it. So you got to knuckle down and learn that one, but you can do it that cheap way, like I showed you. Now, whenever you're playing a song, you got to listen to it on the radio or something first to get it in your head. There's no use trying to play something if you haven't got the tune in your head, because everything starts with the way you think. You think it, then you play it. Okay, you don't play it, then you think it. That's going backwards. You got to think about it first and know what it sounds like in your mind's eye or your mind's ear, and then play it on your guitar. So you got to know it goes da 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 da, and you're humming it, right? Doesn't matter if it sounds silly like that. Now the trick to getting it right is you know your names of your notes, you know all your keys because you know this major scale. You just play it until you get the rhythm one note at a time, right? So if we were doing that 1, 4, 5 thing in the key of G, I'd just be playing on that G string, just hitting one note. Move it to there. So that's how you build the rhythm in your head, right? It's like, say you're writing a book or whatever, you'd flesh it out first. You'd write like your chapter outline before you actually build the body. Same thing with your guitar, you know, you're putting a basic skeleton to it, and then you're fleshing it out with your chords. So the way, when you're doing this basic skeleton, you know, you're building the rhythm in your head. You're knowing how it's going, how it's sounding, but you've got to get that sound from your head onto your fretboard. So just play it one note at a time like a bass player would do. And by doing it that way, you can listen to the songs on the radio and try and pick the chords and how it's going, playing by ear, by knowing that I'll put my play, it might be in the key of A. You go, oh, okay, that was in the key of A, so I've got those ones to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes. Before you even flesh out the chords, just flesh out the basic rhythm using just single notes. And that lets you play by ear a lot quicker by doing it that way, okay? And you know, right, if it was in the key of A, you're going, oh yeah, it's going like this. You go, okay, yep, that's a 1, 4, 5, but it's going 1. You might not be good enough to play all those things, but you can, at least you can get it in your head, have your favourite songs, you know how they sound. That's a way to get it on your guitar, and it's a way to work out what they're playing by knowing that major scale there, knowing 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 a minor, then you can flesh it out, okay? So I've shown you the chords. I'm going to get into some chord progressions now, and I'm going to show you how to play them quickly, and then off you go and you can play them by yourself.